You might be wondering, when is the best time to buy CS2 skins? Well, for this video, I've analysed years of price data to show you not only the best times of day to grab skins cheap, but also which period of the year where you can stretch your money the furthest. Let's get into it. Firstly, I wanted to understand the price swings on a day-to-day basis. To figure this out, I looked at the price history for some popular, highly liquid items, things like the Dreams and Nightmares case and the AK Slate in Field Tested. When we take a look at their respective price graphs on Steam, we see a similar pattern. There is a repeating dip that occurs for several hours either side of 6 PM Central European time, when the European player base is active and supply pressure is low. In addition, more people play on Fridays and weekends, so stick to Monday to Thursday for lower prices as there's less demand, although the day of the week is certainly less important than the time of day. For cases in particular, Wednesdays and Thursdays are cheapest, following everyone's weekly care package being reset and bringing a new supply wave. While I couldn't find precise data on third-party marketplaces regarding these daily price swings, I would imagine that popular peer-to-peer sites behave in a fairly similar manner. Before we continue, this video's sponsor, SkinSwap, is giving you a skin worth up to $50 entirely for free whenever you do your first trade and use my referral code. If you want to refresh your loadout, you can trade your skins for brand new ones in just a couple of seconds. Plus, if you want to purchase cheap skins directly, they accept deposits via crypto, MasterCard, and Visa. And since every item is already past the 7-day trade hold, you'll receive your skins instantly. If you need to cash out, SkinSwap makes that simple too, with instant sell options to PayPal or crypto. On top of that, they run free daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways, with the chance to earn extra tickets simply by trading. Use my link or referral code for a 3% lifetime sales bonus and a free skin worth up to $50. Big thanks to SkinSwap for supporting the channel. It is important to keep in mind that while prices can swing by up to 15% on a daily basis for cheap, highly liquid items, the same cannot always be said about high-tier skins or collector's items. For those, it's important to look at the overall state of the market and period of the year. In order to break down which months skin prices were most impacted, I pulled the price charts for 6 different items at varying price points. The Chroma Case, Factory New AK Slate, Lieutenant Commander Rixor, Minimal Wear Lieutenant Commander Gloves, Factory New M4A1 Blue Phosphor, and Field Tested M4A4 Howl. I chose these items because they are also fairly liquid and are a nice mix of item categories. I put the 3-year price history of all of these items up against each other from January 2022 to January 2025. I then looked at each chart one by one and marked dips with a green line and price spikes with a red line. I did this for each item separately and then combined them all to get an idea of which months had the lowest and highest prices. While there are other factors at play here, like major game updates including the CS2 Limited Test, CS2 Full Release, and Armory Update, which certainly impacted player numbers and overall demand, there are still some quite obvious trends. I highlighted the periods of time where there were consistent dips and spikes, and I ended up with this. I then added the player base numbers, and what do you know, it lines up pretty well. I thought this was a nice way to visualize things. Around July seems to be a consistent good time to get in. It's summer in the Northern Hemisphere where the vast majority of the CS player base resides. People are outside more and on holiday away from home. Inversely, once people get back and resume their usual routine around September to October, prices rise again. Around the new year, there also tends to be a dip in prices. Once again, my guess is that people are away from home on holidays or socializing more with family and friends, although this period seems not to last as long and not see prices dip quite as much as the middle of the year. If I also add the overall CS2 market cap, taken from Price Empire for 2023 onwards, it also follows a similar trend, albeit of course with less variation than the individual items. Obviously, time of day or year is not the only factor at play. For example, when an item gets removed from the active duty pool, prices spike and then tend to settle in the following weeks. So if you're looking to pick up a certain item that's just been removed, or has had an announcement made regarding its removal, it's probably best to hold off for at least a week or two for that hype to die down. We can see what's happened with the gallery case or character craft sticker prices after the announcement that they were getting removed from the armory. You should also always take a look at the price graphs to see if there is any sort of market manipulation going on. With the recent pumps across a number of items, especially stickers and covert rifles, you may accidentally buy in while it's in an inflated bubble. High tier items worth several $1,000s are unlikely to see more than 10 to 20% natural growth in any given month. So if you're seeing items like the M4A4 Coalition shoot up like this, it's probably not sustainable and I'd be staying far away. Prices also tend to increase slightly during major tournaments when viewership is high and both new and casual players are brought back to the game. Plus, certain cases or skins might also be inflated when streamers or big influencers are heavily promoting case unboxings or a certain loadout. In these situations, it's once again best to hold off for a couple of weeks. I also wanted to mention Steam sales, as back in the day they seemed to have a notable impact on the CS market. However, nowadays are pretty negligible. Casual players often sell skins to buy new games when various Steam market sales roll around. However, the market has matured to a point where players are holding much larger inventories, both as play skins or for investment purposes, so this impact is quite minimal. If you want to figure out the overall state of the market, Price Empire's indexes are a really cool way to see how certain segments of the market are performing at any given time. For example, if we compare their low tier, mid tier, and high tier indexes, which contain some of the items shown on screen now so you can get an idea of their respective price ranges, you'll see that not every tier of item is always impacted to the same degree by current play numbers or updates. Plus, their trending page is a great way to get a gist of the general trend of items. If you want to see how the case market is doing, for instance, just search for cases and sort by performance over your preferred time window. Everything goes through cycles, especially in the CS investing world. Cases, stickers, agents, fillers, etc. Ideally, you get in before the hype cycle and sell during it. Given cases are currently in a bit of a downturn, now might be the time to buy in at a pretty significant discount. So in summary, the best time to buy skins is likely around 6 PM Central European time in the middle of the summer months. However, take into account major game updates, monthly player numbers, price manipulation, and ongoing tournaments. They should help give you the best idea of when to get in. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video and be sure to check this one out next. Take care of yourselves.